Deep in the mountains, among forests and fresh mountain air, there is a place where time moves incredibly slowly. At first glance, it may look like just a wet area covered with moss and small plants. But beneath the surface lies a natural archive that has been forming for thousands of years. This is a peat bog, one of the most fascinating ecosystems on Earth. The main creator of this landscape is a tiny but powerful plant, sphagnum moss. Sphagnum may look delicate, but it has an extraordinary ability. It can absorb and hold huge amounts of water, many times its own weight. As new layers of moss grow on top, the older layers below slowly die. But because the bog is constantly wet and poor in oxygen, these plants do not fully decompose. Instead, they slowly transform into peat. Layer by layer, year after year, century after century. A peat bog grows extremely slowly. In many places, 1,000 years may create only about 1 meter of peat. Imagine that. A landscape created by tiny plants, building itself 1 millimeter at a time. But peat bogs are much more than just wet forests. They are important natural climate regulators. While growing, sphagnum moss captures carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. When the plants become peat, this carbon stays locked underground for thousands of years. In this way, peatlands act like giant natural storage systems for carbon. They are also home to many unique species that can survive in these unusual conditions. Because the water is acidic and contains few nutrients, only specially adapted plants can live here. You can find plants like cotton grass, wild cranberries, and small carnivorous plants that have developed a surprising strategy, catching insects to get nutrients that the poor soil cannot provide. Walking across a peat bog feels like entering another world. The soft ground, the moss carpets, the old trees around you. Everything tells a story about the slow rhythm of nature. Some parts of this landscape preserve information from the past. Scientists can study layers of peat like pages in an ancient book. Inside them, they can find traces of old plants, pollen, and even evidence of changes in climate that happened thousands of years ago. The Czarnohorskie Roślinnictwo is not just a beautiful mountain destination. It is a living laboratory created by nature itself, a place where tiny mosses build mountains of history, where water protects ancient memories, and where every step reminds us how patient and powerful the natural world can be. I never imagined that a swamp could be such a fascinating and beautiful place. Before this journey, I always pictured wetlands as dark, mysterious areas that people usually try to avoid. But standing here, high in the mountains, I discovered a completely different world. This is not just a wet area covered with moss. It is a living ecosystem that has been growing and changing for thousands of years. Every step reveals something new. Soft carpets of sphagnum moss, unusual plants, old trees, and quiet landscapes where nature follows its own slow rhythm. It feels like entering another world, a place where time moves differently. A place where tiny plants can create entire landscapes, and where every layer of peat keeps a memory of the past. Today, I want to explore this hidden world and discover how this incredible mountain peat bog was created.